counts 2, 3, 4, and 5, murder in the first degree.
A legal battle over evidence playing out between Bryan Kohberger, working to clear his name in the murder of 4 University of Idaho students, and the state fighting to prove his guilt. In new court documents, Kohberger's attorney accusing the state of hiding its entire case by seeking to protect information about the genetic genealogy investigation they say led them to Kohberger.
The state here is using a relatively new kind of DNA technology. So this is exactly the kind of thing the defense will argue that they need, because if this is emerging technology, they need all the facts they can if they're going to challenge it.
In a court filing earlier this month, prosecutors said that Kohberger's DNA is a statistical match to DNA found on the knife sheath at the scene of the murders last November. In the filing, Kohberger's lawyer said that 2 additional males' DNA was found within the house, as well as another unknown male's DNA on a glove found outside the house, days after the murder. Kohberger's attorney also writing that police were investigating many various possible suspects, adding that many of them provided DNA and at least one had his DNA surreptitiously taken from a discarded cigarette.
Your Honor, we will be standing aside.
The judge entered a not guilty plea for Kohberger after he opted to stand silent at his arraignment. He's accused of murdering Madison Mogen, Kaylee Gonsalves, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin as they slept in an off-campus home in Moscow, Idaho on November 13th. An expansive gag order has blanketed the case since January, challenged by both the media and one of the victim's family's lawyers. On Friday, the judge upheld the gag order but narrowed it, allowing attorneys in the case to comment on matters like scheduling and correcting misinformation about their client. Tomorrow, both sides will face off in court again. As Kohberger's lawyers argue for the release of materials they say they need to defend the suspected killer.
Kohberger's lawyer also went even further in the court filing, saying, quote, "There is no connection between Mr. Kohberger and the victims. There is no explanation for the total lack of DNA evidence from the victims in Mr. Kohberger's apartment, home, office, or vehicle." Savannah.
All right, Erin, thank you. I want to turn now to NBC's senior legal correspondent, Laura Jarrett. Laura, good morning to you. I mean, these are just pretrial motions going back and forth, but we're starting to see a preview of what some of the defense arguments might be here.
We are starting to see them inject a little bit of reasonable doubt, even though we are miles away from a jury. That's what this is. And to say that they didn't find any DNA from the victims in his house or car, of course, the prosecutors are going to say he was good at covering his tracks. Now, in their telling, he wasn't that good because they did find DNA, at least according to the prosecutors, next to one of the victims. They found some DNA, what they call a thumbprint, next to one of the victims on the knife sheath. And the question is, how in the world did that get there if he had no connection to the case?
One of the other things they're talking about is that there was actually other male DNA at the scene. So what do you make of that?
But that can't be surprising. It's a college student house. Of course, I would be surprised if there was no other male DNA there. Now, the defense team, what they're saying is, well, then how did you zero in on our client? And so we want to at least understand that process. But they're going to get that. Remember, this is just discovery. They're going to find out all of the testing and all of the ways in which they decided to zero in on him. And there isn't just DNA. DNA is obviously compelling to everyone, but they also have surveillance video of a white Elantra chasing away from the scene of the crime at a high speed. They also have cell phone ping towers close to the party house. And so I just think that people are focused on the DNA naturally, but there's more to this picture.
So what's next? What's next in this case now?
So now there's going to be a hearing tomorrow because the defense lawyer wants more of what they call the grand jury minutes, because they are not in the grand jury. That's just between the prosecutors and the grand jury. So now they're going to get some more of that discovery, and we're going to learn more and more as the weeks come out.
Okay. Laura, thank you very much.
Thanks, Laura.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.